Good morning and welcome to Rose Red Homestead, where it's late January and it's cold, cold, cold outside. A lot of the country this weekend is expecting a major, massive winter storm. Sadly, it skips us completely. We're having a terribly dry winter, and we could really use some of that moisture, although not all the fuss that comes with it. So we'll be thinking of you this weekend as things get rough across the part of the nation. But we are going to mix together one of the master mixes from the Utah State University booklet, and it is toward the back under specialty mixes, and it's called cream of chicken soup mix. I just thought that this soup would be a really nice thing to have as a master mix, because whenever we get chilled, because we do some work outside and in the greenhouse, and we just get chilled to the bone sometimes, and it's really nice to come in. Usually I have hot chocolate, but that of course has a lot of sugar in it, so this mix would be a nice, warm, comforting, and a little bit more nutritious than hot chocolate item to have to help warm us up. And good to keep on our pantry shelves anyway, for use anytime that we would like to have a nice warm cup of soup. So I have gallon bags set down in this bowl. It says to mix it in a plastic bag. I'm ultimately going to put it in this quart jar and keep it vacuum sealed, so that just for extra protection, but we're going to go ahead and mix it in here. So it starts with 1.5 cups of powdered milk, which is right here. So I'm doing it in 1/2 cup measurements, which would be 3 of these. And powdered milk always gives off that powder gets right into the air. So I try to make as little fuss as possible. So there's our 1.5 cups of powdered milk. So next is 3/4 cup of cornstarch or flour, and I prefer cornstarch. So this is a 3/4 cup measure. And my counter is very clean, so we're just going to do that. Next is 3 tablespoons of instant chicken bouillon, and that is right here, 3 tablespoons. One, two, 3. And we have 1/2 tablespoon of onion flakes. A 1/4 teaspoon of sage. Ooh, that really smells good. Fourth of a teaspoon of thyme. And last of all is 1/8 of a teaspoon of pepper. Okay, so now here's our soup mix. We're going to shake it up. Okay, I think it's pretty well mixed. Now, it says to keep this bag, label it, date it, store it in a cool, dry place for up to 6 months. And it makes approximately, it says 5 cans of soup. They may need cups of soup, I don't know. But I'm going to store it in this jar. I don't like to store things in plastic bags like this. So what I have right here is my little saucepan. It has 1 cup of water in it because we're going to mix up a cup of it. It calls for a half a cup of the mix, a cup of cold water, and 1 to 2 tablespoons of melted butter. I didn't melt the butter, I'm not going to. So I'm just going to take a half a cup of the powder, and we're going to put it right here. And now I'm going to take the rest of the mix and put into this quart jar. And I'll wash this bag out, use it again. And I will label this, and it goes on the pantry shelf. So we'll set that aside, and we're going to move over to the stove where, while it's still cold, I'm going to mix this in. The reason we mix it in cold water is because of the cornstarch in here. So we're going to put it over medium heat, and we're going to stir this constantly until it thickens. So I'll meet you over here.
Okay, you are stirring, and
so you can see the butter on the top, it's starting to melt. It's ghee, actually. The little green flecks come from the bouillon itself is flavored. And I think those are parsley flakes. So we'll be back when this starts to thicken. All right, so there it is, nice and thick soup. Wow, thick soup. I might even like that thinned down just a little bit more, but it happened, the thickening happened very fast. So it hadn't even come to a boil yet. So I'm going to put this in my cup. And let's go back over here and do a taste test. So normally I would be drinking this, but I'm just going to taste it on a spoon so that it will cool off a little bit first. That is very nice. It's just as smooth as velvet, and that's what the cornstarch does. And it is drinkable. Oh, the flavor is very good. I'm loving this. I think this will be just a great addition to our pantry so that anytime we need to have a little bit of a warm up, we can just warm us up a cup of this cream of chicken soup, and it will be delicious. So this is probably the easiest one that we have done. So I hope you try it and let us know how you like it and what other things that you could do to doctor it up. I'm already thinking of some things too. We turned the camera off for a minute so that Jim could taste it, and he has a really good point. He really liked it. But he said, you know, this has the thickness of gravy, and it does. So you could even use this. I think I would thin this down a little bit for soup, but it would make a great chicken gravy or gravy over biscuits. So that's another way that we can use this. So how great is that?
mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes, you bet. So it's great just the way it is, but there are lots of ways that you could doctor this up as well. So thank you so much for being with us, and we'll see you again very soon for more videos.